Attorney General my concurrent Ghana Munkomo Baba Tabontia, I was here, so bet to have in powerhouse a break is a news and in some walking none the same pen investigation no HSA AG Attorney General no or modern am at the end of the day no or a year review a year Dorinda Smith atta and the judgment to be our year if a man nakusia sewa and no dobroni our home sensemino. I was here and some dear yes ma mena kemi my person be coming home aquajinchi moha gusi black media.
So in that place, you know, it goes back to the all records were transmitted. Godfrey Dami goofed. You see, there are records. There are records of the court. Almost transmitted records. Now, court of appeal. It became the court of appeal ordered for them to bring it. So all those records went to the court. They filed it. Records no, he goofed. So that's what I'm saying. Say it all goes back to some of this when NDC MPP if the thing is bad, it's bad no matter where it's coming from. But it look as if say like said no double ni can head BBC just some loophole be one chain obi timiafa ho aba can we say a case the current attorney general say or court review like you were saying, you know. But from what you are reading, you know, he knows more than some of us do. He's going on appeal, but based upon the explanation here, also we have also picked some aspects from it. Maybe it might be a little bit difficult. Why do you have to go and waste the taxpayers' money if the case is bad? Can it be say because politics when the bear politics a tia was say mobile or more mati or matumuno moja almost one case work course no mama Kate now go into the logical conclusion muja omunyina. So I think it's high time you put the country at heart instead of say NPP NDC. No, I think it's not helping us. We need to take a second look at them.
Ono say appeal no say or call for appeal. No so no judgment can buy no case or call for appeal. It me I will not answer that question. Judgment na mampo no so call for appeal. So no judgment the thing no so call for appeal. E bia na or trans na so already judgment obe hu say or appeal emwa. Because we will appeal emwa.
Message nti unji ni say in near future some of the biana citizens, you know, here fighting for say we shouldn't take ministers from parliament. Not to say if like Attorney General is not an MP and is sitting in an office to work, you have ample time to have more work to be done on cases.
On say me no arguing on the decoupling. The decoupling of the AG department from the Ministry of Justice. Me no arguing. You have to decouple it. I'll say the decouple. I know there. Say you decouple. O my ni pay die. O my ni pay die. But I'm kind of I think this time no things are maybe a bear but I say constitutional review, you know, white review report na about the Tabonti.
White paper
white paper said the AG can once no things on be published so maybe a changes kakra bit my beam. To all you're right, you are 100% right. Into your other brother, my Sunday, sir, notification of ratification now of a cake and was so much records ni bianco. My Sunday, now the now of a cake. Into we are say in our records ni bi oha Kemua Obaa the court ordered and they brought it. So before our court made the ruling, Babano, all these things were factored in. All these things were factored in. It is said now, no credit okay, Osha law now, on your bonibia. And now, who's especially church, causing financial loss, no. What's the American ingredient in the tobacco crab free more case in as you. So charge will be with an offense. That's the ingredient that is required for the offense to be offense punishable by law. So tobacco crab free more. The principle of legality that will not work. Because offense be over charge will be it should find an expression in a statute in force. And the punishment thereof should also be found in a statute in force. You find the principle of legality. In law, you mean you find the principle of legality. It is a one ingredient in a war offense. Say any it's gonna crash. And the prosecutors must prove that ingredient. Say ampa ingredient na was our offense what the menstrual, what the dream bonnet, and what the poor bonnet in a year. They should prove the ingredient must marry or must gear towards the menstrual. It could be class ingredient in the corner, but not menstrual in the Nippon, you bet me, Jano. Criminal law, no, a criminal way, no, criminal trial, no. It's proven beyond reasonable doubt. And yeah, I think it will be already it didn't be to me, channel. To one and come one and start it. Tell me, say this age, I respect him so much because also Obertonable and pass charges or that Benino, and you can say baby. And you can say baby, I have 3 pages, 2 pages, what can you hear? What can you breach here? Or one evidence? Who could you know what defend no? Inti am not senior to defend the charges or their boy in California is to say or made the bonnet. Senior they are suffering in defending them. Officer appear could be or your small lawyer. Hey, officer lawyer appear could be or your small lawyer own. It's not a small lawyer. But when you they were trying to use technicality, but the circumstantial evidence, they may check circumstantial evidence, how my Lord Oche, the former judge of the Supreme Court, how in the case of Republic versus Atisu, it's like I don't marry this case, no?
Yeah, Atisu,
the police for me, no,
Atisu, Ibrahim, yeah.
Back when they are married, definitely. Lady, narratives and issue no cause. So, time or 2 hours or friend or bad police station, a common fast run or describe a demo police station where them was a was it here, baby, a telephone, see, baby, a book or describing so that is the check. I said, circumstantial evidence is ripe now in this case because the evidence it has been pieced together. I say, what find you trust war? Mama Pama, the moon to trust war. What find you trust war? What can see in your pamatari? Sana circumstantial evidence. It has been pieced together. You piece it together. I said, what found Homa 1 minute. Now I hear a chenanka for your no motion. Who said, first, no to me found man 1 minute and a beche. Sana circumstantial evidence. So it has been pieced together to form the material fact. So that is how I say it.
You see, I don't know, sir, who follow public accounts committee kakra. Come here for past 3 weeks, no chair, no cry. I can say, Obama, I told you not prosecute VR. Because there was some Nema, Omo purchase here, there was no approval. So, I think Markins was the board chairman, his part, the minister was part. I think the finance and other guys were also part. That they have caused financial loss to the state because they purchased something without approval.
Yeah, you know. Oh, one, I did, no say, I recommend it. But only, I know some of these things, I know mostly it leads to surcharging. You know, could pay park wa. Ayana mostly it leads to say charge because Wayana Pimpino unya because Omo Mobahono Ombe Kasa on behalf of the institution. Tiana Pimpino directly Nayana Omunya involves her. No, my guy say in criminal trial no. What's in the panel but also proves that Nipano he actually did the thing with the ingredient. Tiana Musin something of this Tiana it leads to surcharge. It says surcharge what you say.
But mostly, no, sir, in America, that's what they are making. No, they brought their budget and how they exceeded the budget they have it in their system.
You see, but just say chance one to that.
Where they plan to use 2 million, they use 4 million. The machine they try to buy it maybe 1.5, they bought it 6 million. Without approval.
Sanyo man say Sanyo man for instance if I say bia Jamaica say my prosecution bad in and interim pimping and into court no and say o say bia expatiate on a director ewa na wa hwa ma ye twieska intino enye onu nkwa na behwe ebia befa finance director nsem na aba befa ha ebia obi ono wo field ho wanye nyejumanti ama ekaide aba intino ebesa na yebesa charge o ko ka go charge bia no nya direct evidence bia express on na aye saade no mostly in san ebi also a nipa no point to so why and e bit ma prosecute but mostly in public account committee o mujuma because the auditor general na ko hu ina no bia aba Haina Moses auditor general okoku hu a or say charge so
and just to also add up, say
so no your auditor.
Me can why you say you find say ABA okoto book 20 CDs. Wakoto book na auditors no buy no what to book no o receipt e wo he ABA who receipt no mama okui say be answer for receipt in the branch say when who receipt na then they will come back and charge you say even though the book no hold there but because you couldn't produce the receipt pay for that we say now and ebi ombe your report now 1 year or the same what do you call it untimi answer charges na quiz no them like questions no them as to why I say book uni receipt and I say receipt any near man akoto enter so after report that's when to me answer to their satisfaction then they will ask you to refund or pay the amount na what the amount because you don't have receipts and other supporting ingredients to provide for we
Nyamin sharp especially baby mo ha nyamin mpacho no do aka na no sa netie mpacho say charge so what I say Mr. Security
which makes some court we didn't need a gazette
way Mr. Cute
let's go
Put deal about.
yes I'm said especially back be there mpacho ho ye
Me who you now. I wanted to pick your mind on something.
my especially team here na ko be kan bibi papa
No problem.
Thank you. Oh, Charlie, wait there. Me cry there. I'm said in Kamebeka no more. I'm about when it comes to public accounts committee, okay, Mammy can public accounts committee. Mammy can auditing.
I want to experience or to meet me a public account.
Many experience. Many experience. Be our when it comes to auditing, say Ghana. Every Ghanaian institution, every public institution, sikabia ewo hobia, and especially more IGF near internally generated funds. To say ECG, ne schools new way schools need school fees, ECG jeje bills. Sasika na ECG for their mind there. They are just holding them in trust. That's the technical term. You're just holding them in trust for the government. Inti me ka ba besi point bisu. Osha, I na mostly say tie public accounts committee one hwe ya obedwen say omo disika omo disika enye ni nyina na ye tisa etoda Mr. Wafa K kra kan sembi so twen wadwene si so a ebeka se koto book bra no akoto o procurement manager say ye koto book green auditors buy no book na the same book obey blue ushi auditor bia na adwene nya sebi obeka chiro say procurement ne ka say ye green nti ye den na ye buy no de da ho ne blue although notebook no ho sa book ne da ho by ye blue and am went me and justify nti ye beka chiro say sa sika no na mo ka say mo de akoto sika ne ye ka say mo fa nkoto book green no e wenye fa mo ko fa book number mo ko fa sa sika number meanwhile mato blue one serve the same purpose inti auditing e dynamics bebree na there ya na problem ya na e wom no and say we auditing we omoye we are public accounts committee we almost city and yet last year the end omoye no it's about last 2 years. It's about last 2 years the end omote so no because it take a whole process omoye no mostly every 6 months into in the last 2 years last 6 months of the last 2 years and omoye no nkofo na officers na omo ho a omo audit omo issue omo ye no corner omo di ano ansa na aba bedu that extent no they are not in office again omo free omo ni office obium like be a political changes aba ya transfer be to say with the director mo can Malik and your friend saying that the said director in the ACG case no odo bring
Mahama Dubik.
Yeah, Mahama Dubik, yeah. He's not there. But Mahama Dubik was not only anything for himself. Oh, Ghana yen system no. It is such that the politicians have the announcement can say a constitution a protecting in so many ways. A protecting occupy offices in so many ways. So you could not they split a line between Mahama Dubik and his office. They split a line. Into mostly no what is surcharge, you know. I bet you a lot of times, apart from few cases, a man for yetimi directly kase and kwa ways on personally or benefited from Sikano. Most of the times, office na ne besen tuya sa Sikano. I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say. ECG, ombe yisike free ECG accounts mu de tuya banka. I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's not can I say.
Yes. I don't really have.
Actually, I mean, I can say, initially, the Ganka said, ECG, Scott Magigiano, the Jima, like, yeah,
very good.
It's for our buying. So, I can say, yeah, buying the almost answer, who says, can I say to your buying?
And no,
almost how to before giving to the government.
Inti a hono, and no, asamna, no, what can I say? That is where the problem is. Into a lot of times, you know, your office, apart from issues are very personal, no, and maybe a because nipa we mommy and Jessica when a home bra, especially on more salaries. One of the biggest crimes are in terms of public auditor or Ghana on end salaries. And then the musa and then the wounds are individual no bet especially who are payroll nearby and validating officers no betua. But most of the times on the general office issues, I am necessary can ye di and I mean say omodi. Ayana nyeman kitin baby ha receipt. But once I will be true or comment section name and then my message of mic.
Uchi ne do nya say ye di send na call account committee o.
Christmas tree at Ghana Airport. Christmas tree at Ghana Airport.
Obi true comment section is a Ghana too. Getting receipt is easy. It's not easy, I'm telling you. Until someone be true no na say receipt easy. And your receipt na omo okoto ade we do man sebi like roadside ni ati ama oni bio. First off, ube here VAT invoice. And now you will process our film, will be proving, will be because it's not any VAT invoice. Every VAT invoice has its own serial number. And as obi ti ono no VAT invoice mawa. Now they cover or purchases and our expenses beer. Nipano, he or she is expected to pay taxes on it. I don't know if you are getting that line too. In the roadside receipt, a VAT invoice, and yes, VAT invoice will be a no better VAT invoice that's on same keke. In this old this kabia, a talk at an thing. Into debia, and I am tempted to say it. Last time I can't once I'm not coming, I can and that's what Massa could do. You some offices beer or more a juma public office beer, public institution beer, your offices me and Sambi. So me and San Echo Mutiriboma, Massa. A yesika saying, you were the overcan, Enkosi who make there was an issue be mortuary. With the mortuary ska, only some mortuary ska or hopa, abai mortuary Ghana. Share, Obu how you free mortuary comment water uncle. Sao mortuary watch my phone no more a bodies no paniano. Omu disika formalin sika, omu deep
Samale for no.
Formalin, a drobi or omu friend formalin. Drobi or omu friend formalin.
Omo sense. Omo she Kobe, omo toma Kobe for no.
Che. And I want him. Oh, okay. Oh, them have been just so. I say me can't. Omo ebi. I say obi su be ye abe ebi. So the point is, sa baby no. I'm on for disika, but they be anytime be a sika be koso ho mu be disika be no. A document. Keke is just a matter of writing a policy down. Otrotowa auditor biya do already audit na. Remember Ghana audit service no. When omuba officer, omu behwe se de mu di sika na ye no. Is it in accordance with the law? That's all. They are not there to witch hunt. Inti answer na wuntimi yi sansem we nyina no na be do public accounts committee no. I thought they be do nauseating. But if I tell you some of the things that happens at the public accounts committee, you wouldn't like to. You wouldn't have any hope for Ghana again. But I'm telling you, dream no. Na mo say AC wa ase ho no. Eboboa kodru soro kai say e kodru soro e public accounts committee a minister na eye ministry na wo ye adwuma wo, for instance say health oye ebia oye hospitaler na ye frewa e was a minister for health ene wo ba ho ene wo ba public accounts committee nenim on a lead you ba na enema na time men Canada men kan bu obi abem.
Yes, we were there one day. We were there, gender ministry. We went there for amount of 34 Ghana cedis.
Look at this.
And the Prime Minister and the entire audit team and the finance department, 34 Ghana.
How? Can push me mama can send by the Mr. Prestige. Send you a
I say
David. Also 34 Ghana.
On American.
I can tell you, say, I can confidently tell you, say, 34 Ghana, yeah, and on your Moko Hono. Omuboka more than 34 Ghana to get there.
Exactly.
And to leave the place. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, for the budget allowance, so
what is the
office? No,
all kono, budget allowance. Omunyina sa officers a omubeko no munyina budget allowances. Apart from allowances, no budget no. Omu yes I be provide omu kodru a minister say was a minister na demoko.
Yes.
Say na moko amuka na mumpoboa. O say yes otu.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know.
They spend more than that. I thought that it's heartbreaking. You don't even want to discuss it. However, we are advancing and we are getting better. That's all I see every day, and it gives me hope that tomorrow is a better day. You say the obofo ko nrem ko hunyina oba fie be kan hwa yan renambio.
This is from Obaa for public account committee for 1,000 Ghana cedis. Let's consider the cost of his traveling.
Na DS or asem. DS na pacho DS or asem.
Oh, okay. Michobia. I mean, I was coming to now maybe search charge because I've been search charged before. See, when you go to Sanyo Manyome, anyway, Disika, because the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee recommended. Oh no, most of the times they are also auditors. So they talk about this as me when I was a regional account officer for National Youth and Employment. I faced a similar one. Now, especially it can be when you are at a municipality, let's say the MC, the accountant, and
menka bio o de omumienu no denti eda no nka me bo omumiensa wo ha na meja ye omumienu na welcome you know.
If these three people combine,
yeah, for last one so na pepe.
Menfa so no Mr. Cute ade bi wo ha denti ya na ye nka no there is a reason. Aha.
If these three people combine, skebia upebia no you can ubenya. Because when it becomes a surcharge, and yet onya mi kotokum ska na mzutua. Onya MC ni ska kotokum ska na mzutua. It is the sikana ofi central government aba. And then their own IGF where they go to the market and other places. No was about here.
Right.
So most at times, oh, Mr. Atta, we want to buy car net tie. Minimum the car net tie. Or to general tie. General tie, rim 14, 800. Originally or general, but on your general no kote. So yaji general niska 800 cedis. Ni akoto home use 200, 250 years abashe. Okay, right there.
Now we use RFQs. Now we use RFQs. Request for quotation. Unya three receipts and no.
Thank you. Now, sometimes I will look at my itinerary, my Impress itinerary, and I will know there, as I'm it should cost the municipality 1,000 cedis. But before I made my itinerary, we number 3,500. When the auditor comes, they have a language they speak. And it's just as expatiate can before it reaches the Public Accounts Committee, it means that you now can say you are stubborn. It means you are difficult. And obisu pede disgrace one no use your
right.
But that is just by the by. Council, reading the 90-something pages of Ledino, an investigation conducted by Iyoko, which gives a very good detail about whatever that happened, is the appellate court telling me the ingredient that they needed, because when you read from Attorney General, witnesses were called, some of them didn't show up. Is that the reason why they couldn't find the circumstantial evidence against the woman? And now they're looking at it from what Iyoko has done. There's no evidence in that conversation that could send that woman to jail. Godfrey Dami, in my opinion, made a mistake. The case was rushed through. They didn't really prepare for it. But looking at what is available now, although certain witnesses, key witnesses failed to appear, they weren't subpoenaed, nothing happened. Would that not be the reason why the lady was discharged? And then again, I believe the Attorney General wants to go for a review or go take it to the Supreme Court to bring the case to a finality, where if there is a change in administration or government, nobody can go after the woman, because if the Supreme Court has said it, which other court are you going to seek interpretation from? Knowing very well there, the review that they are going, is dead on arrival. But to bring finality and let the woman walk freely, he made certain pronouncement. I'm going for review even before he received or before the ruling was given. Is that not just making sure that this case is dead and nobody could go after it? And the work that Iwoko did, are we trying to bastardize and say Iwoko did a shoddy job? As I'm
my answer from the last one. They are to make it a point, another to make it as if the or someone cannot challenge it. I don't think that would be the reason, because the appeal also have timelines. So if say or a different government maybe I will show the Obaa case then it cannot be, because so one appeal in part onto my 2028 young fan day impo MPP baba power and that's the timeline to appeal no, and no government can take her back to court again. It is fantasy official, it is dead. I think the ABI, the release was to let people know that they are any politics no my any womb. Omanka so more rashi, that's not come train judgment no. Because Ghana for already judgment no who say sana prosecution then no man you meduma ye no. That is a who here kran pose was or kase wo appeal to the Supreme Court. Is a minimum grounds or go so. And you see, who will the judgment ni ya? Charges are at the ball, no. A definite charges, and when it comes to definite charges, you don't need circumstantial evidence, because my man say we because in still you should quote the amount and nipan we are. You should also prove say nipano he dishonestly. You could prove say nipano he dishonestly appropriated that money. You should also prove say nipano or appropriates cano or the yebibi edinyane ho. That is the ingredient of stealing. Can section 125 ingredient of stealing? Say stealing women dishonestly receiving, appropriating, and part owners. It also be at dishonestly now appropriate here. Say when quotes can nipana appropriate here, the charge of stealing cannot stand. That is one. Into when also willfully causing financial loss to the state. Don't say willfully causing financial loss to the state, no. I also to me prove say nipano ni mission and omission in ama o minor boka. Na sa mission and omission or share da in o ye ma o minor boka. So in this scenario, no, also will enter into a contract. Contract now enter into no. O say amount a contract no aye inflated and inti sika yekutua no ama o man na aboka. The question is nipa no enter into the contract, all right, but who paid the money? Anyone in the chase cannot sank in the chase cannot there, then that means he has willfully caused financial loss. But wait, anyone in the chase cannot obi mom na be chase can nipa no so buy be chase can or say renegotiate contract no. So how can you prove the ingredient of causing financial loss? And two, also stealing. Also obi discover share sa accused no set the name finish station. Nipa no ba court be the dance say o discover shares or discover obi the dance say o discover shares said the name no. Sa nipa no one be try receipt bia. Said nam say bisa no say obi an face can be share no. Inte dey na try say o discover no. When produce receipt be our court, say and pesque de mawi and who receipt out the money. When produce audio recording, video, WhatsApp message be say said nam na acknowledge say or discuss how.
And no crasso tanda and chenswa. Said nam no crasso tender in let it be a or no any other person extra bra wona o said nam add 500,000 no or throw let and the bra say or more discano. So the question is, Obia also this car man would do 500,000 man. A ban send a sunny panas actual letter say, Omu here's 500,000. Intuition man letter say, you can never prove it anywhere. Say, said the name. We are a bicycle. Into one case of your investigation now, what they call court, who be sound say ingredient men are prove. Did you first of all sit down and analyze the ingredient in the charge is not the boni panel? And now take a box no who say first charge, first ingredient, briefly, me who second ingredient, me who say third ingredient. And to take all the ingredients, the who say ingredient in an are present in Nyani Panaye in our court. Oh, into already judgment out to say a shoddy job no more.
Prestige memo and news for former.
Mbasho mebao. Mama show mon power tap na many questions ma prestige ma be sana on this into me enkoda. Why me show questions. Question yeah na my na prestige so sweat na koda.
We say almost Yoko investigations, no, almost a letter purporting to state we receive the money from Crawford show Miss Sedina MOH said the signature on there no is hers, but the letter no the content of the letter no he doubt it, so he proves there's an ambiguity scano or like the filling station as he's claiming, because that letter was a photocopy and it wasn't the original, so they were demanding for the original copy of that letter. Now almost it it acknowledged the payment or receive that payment, so
no,
that's
there be a wrong information on your patrol. Said Nam in her caution statement with Yoko told them say the signature looks like hers, but any signature. That's what she said. So the moment Obeka sign, the burden shift on you.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
No, but I will say signature and but content one answer. Or say signature.
Okay.
Signature.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Or say say any signature, but any signature. To person say any signature, but say any signature. So in your case happen, the burden will be shifted to prosecution so prove. So until you the only thing that could be to the prove evidence of payment. It's simple. Until the moment I receipt in him now, so won't say any action on that will fail. Because also one miska receipt a chair say who this camera man ever hen. Intino now two reasonability. Obia sebi yo. Ye muska. Ye triaka true bank. O chase can baka. Finish session out the kokutiaka. Ada wabodam. Nina na a prosecution na inframa ba makokotu. Ada prosecution when you na yasakumu.
Prestige.
Yes.
I will say this. Let's assume without admitting, say she even took the money. As I said earlier, Yoko and the prosecution team at that time did a very bad work. Appeal, no, it is just the document of the court in a year review here. And they actually pointed out the flaws. So me, the last time somebody asked me, I say, as much as politically I might not agree, the law has worked. They should allow it to rest. My problem is with nolli prosequa. My problem is with nolli prosequa. If I've said nolli prosequa, you know who I mean. A friend say, Attorney General. The conversation that he even gives before judgment comes out. He hypes the public the media, and then at the end of the day, no, things turn around. I mean, that's my problem with him. And I call him not prosecutor because of what he did previously. But if the law says we cannot charge her for what, or we cannot find her guilty for what we have charged her with, so be it. Because me reading it and looking at what Iyoko did, and you pointing out those three things to me, you cannot find it there. You cannot find it there. And you are also my sika. Okay, give me receipt. Mini receipt. Give me audio. Minibi. Give me video. Minibi. I'm saying that the signature is yours. You are saying that the signature is not mine. It is me.
Pacho, sorry to interrupt. One and only prosecutor, new age and the previous one.
New age.
Oh, okay, got you. That's it. Go ahead.
The person says that the signature is not mine. Iyoko had every opportunity to go back to her office and gather every letter that she has signed and compare signatures. You couldn't prove all these things. Wasted public money, public space. It's a bad case that was your friend say it could do court.
No, not dear, okay. What stopped Attorney General from charging Nipana or so could chase come and said nam? Say a bicycle.
Exactly.
So in the who say again, okay, also your main purpose is to find government.
Find that money, yes.
And the Nipana says can one or the commobi. On to mean change the power of the command, on to mean prove say Nipas may see this kind of man. I don't want charge.
Who did you give the money to? Bring the money.
Council, Pacho, me some one question one Pamacho. The open-ended question be ba Council me Pamacho pa. Say I'm a ho anaji so na minim Pacho sa term na mo friend no political expediency no. Just say a bit me kakra because me tia say I want to pivot a little bit. Right. I post an is say me use media and kasa cerebral and make a short until no mu say me na maybe how I work in some I should go ne say I papa ba ko so e ho abansem synonymous to near Kenya so me who political experience kakra because papa ne say a pardon no they are pardon nature no Parliament for so actually naba to na no kakra say ne be twi na no esi bone so papa when start kasa time you discover HIV so if you patient 0 be see ene na COVID eba no so insem bebre atwitwagu na omde no call parliament cry so the almost science so the insem bia to just say as we speak right now no your war COVID panier no nyina no susceptible and I say your potential see benya cancer and I say heart disease and this represents over 300 million people in America and over millions of people around the world. Now me sign the to you ambassador nam in semi ho na me political experience say obi ewo a party mo and I say ye ni obi ideology ye painti ye push no and I ye inquiry na and I am prosecute no just say my dream na me na but that's a prestige and a deal never die any more ha including bia expatriate mabo bro so am ameniaje but honestly I give up minti ase just say yes if you are young komodia if you are DM nkami bisa open ended question and after me say no amenya no close na mo mama yes or no answer after there rhetoric into mpamocho me imagine me it's a rhetoric and as a contribution do them me say me nyam because I've given up. Hey, I'm funny ekoi. Onim. Papa Fauci there no. Almost the clinicians from UK. Almost for can say physicians or doctors. Ekukudam, Effie. Europe, London, Aba, Kromuha. Assign Congress for now, so some of physicians, including Rampor, or ophthalmologists, any other cardiologists, and a question papa no. Now, your county, or pleaded fit 111 times. And then, I know already, say, on the advice of counsel, or pleaded fit on the advice of counsel, onya ya pena, wa flip or paper bid and him. None say put kakra, or on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based on my rights, on the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. 111 times, okay. Intimacy, and I do there, me my so confused because time before said in my bonnie, High Court say, hey, ya jail you in absentia 10 years. But meanwhile, no America. And any America buying heading kita home, and based on prevailing rules and laws, extradition I juma de naba. Ya de no buy appeal court say komota. Excuse my left language. Ipamocho me min ko school bebre. Timpamocho mo advice me kakra me damase. Arrest my case.
Aposa era se me funny sana me na prestige.
I could say I'm funny, sir. Me kwada. But this is what I can say. Osha Faucia, me mejumem this year. Nyimpa 4 enewu. And omuna they were boosted takers. Because omu boosted takers after taking the regular one.
Mpachane, odi abadi me maona me pacho facha me
kwada.
Pacho. We got the very interesting area ba.
Omu booster takers. And they all passed out or died of cardiac arrest. Me am chief of my department, cardiac. Legal department, cardiac. Safety guy, cardiac. And they are boosted takers. So me, that one day, we pray to God, say, Yankupo me, I want to we stand. When it comes to setting up Tamakro, the law has spoken. We may disagree or agree or have different opinion. The law has spoken because the law was looking for certain ingredients in the charges. They couldn't find it. And Mamino were about 90-something charges or 60-something charges. They could have charged her with different ones. But the particular one now, they went for it. No, it didn't have the ingredient. It didn't stand the test of time. So you cannot blame the woman. You have to blame the prosecution team. Me, I'll blame former Attorney General, Godfred. It's not that Godfred is a bad Attorney General, but on this job, he failed. He failed because being a seasoned lawyer and being promoted to become the Attorney General. When you are charging somebody and you are going for a criminal case, you should know that the burden of proof is on you, and you have to provide evidence that are solid and very convincing. You can't just go to court and then present anything and then thinking that the judges will not look into it. So I will blame the state for the mishap. I'll come Sedinam, because Sedinam a weird one
Pacho, just before I done, Pacho, one question per one, Pacho, why Israel. Osite, and that's all my data, microphobia, unimomo, and that's all more related. Sebi, Oma passé on. May their souls rest in peace. Sorry about that. Pacho, are you, and as in any way, think, and as I believe, sir, Fauci charges, and as a diaries, and as evidence, Omadisu, against Fauci, and as a worry DBB, Ofo Sebia, vaccines, and Nanya, UGBB said, and Pachopa.
I am not a health expert, but personally, these are my opinions. Personally,
that's free, yeah.
Me a health expert, although I work in hand with them now. Personally, I think we will suffer more than the good that we will get from the vaccine. Not today, but give it 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Just one reason why, Pacho.
One reason
just
why.
one pair. Yeah.
One reason why, because one, it is proven by certain quarters the vaccine was not well prepared, well tested, and the flaws were not corrected. The possibility of having cardiac arrest or developing some cancerous cells because of the vaccine is there. And these things will take time for them to manifest. And then again, I'm looking at Fauci Nankasana public record from in the 90s or say 80s.
HIV time no.
80s.
Yeah,
and
80s.
Now. And then looking at Enyomebia, they did in a rush. Because if we said, say, 1 million people died out of COVID, I can tell you, say, the people who actually died genuinely from COVID will not even be 100,000. About 90% of those who died had underlying medical condition. Diabetic, hypertensive, they had cancer-related issues. So about 90% of them had underlying medical condition. It's a common flu. So you cannot blame every death on COVID. That is the data that we have to also analyze. Personally, I nearly lost my job because of COVID vaccine. I took it the last day because they gave me 3 months or 2 months to decide. And I was willing to. Until my the chief who actually passed, called me to his office and said, listen, you're good staff. We don't want to lose you. You just take the vaccine. And I was sick for 3 days. I was sick for 3 days. Yeah.
Sorry.
And see, in a way, science always has a way to prove things wrong or right. But personally, my opinion the vaccine was rushed through. It was a bad thing that we took.
Sorry. Say, yeah, sure. Say some of you were broche there organa and yanyare. We are okay, but why are there pa? Why be adwin?
Pacho, menka said the name the any benamen sati ejuma on internet.
Question and now okay.
There be me so obusa into me some person me try my dream fa.
Maybe that's a question and answer.
And your question may try my dream fa because no obusa question.
And then me pacho nya bo take a crib mommy. Prestige me pacho. Obi any question ma wotia me da wase. Why are there pa so with me? Enya daje abe no yabedin kono. It's been over. Hey, acho. Achepa na me sha be 3 hours cry. And that's
Amen. Amen. Mr. Damasi. Bye bye. Pacho bye bye.
Me adoma ebe kasa.
Pacho yo.
Right.
Bye.
Prestige call the name ko.
What's adding?
Yeah, that's.
O say mirror ho.
But mama men kasa bi.
Me ono pena said the name the no sister. Me the me nim fa on say. Ne nkosi hwe because na abaya baka aban mu. Sa mo ka se former attorney general deputy na anya adwuma na omoboa. Papa no working hard me tie ne Joy FM. Ekwan yo fa so nya sa evidence ni nyina court no a sentence maame ne 10 years awansi Canada. Sister mo bi enhwa ade wa ha sa Ghana ye de adwene di agro. Maame ni from America by just 3 weeks also akwa appeal court me at this charge and woman. Appeal court to process started 3 weeks. Yanka dia wa ha se eye na aban na aba eno waba na ye na from nya court na ye adwuma court bi anya adwuma hute aban yi ba ya nkrofo mu gina court nyina la wa discharge wo mu hwan Collins Dauda opuni why na barry by your NDC ni on this charge no it is obi be jan ka che say Ferdinand set maame na anya you o man hwehwema na say de ya ene ye de ne kwatuma no mo boa de yes country ni ye biala for prosecution ekoso eye na djuma
uni madam maame na appeal no de tu. We are aware of date nana.
No. Na nipa na no ka no ho no. E dey kan ono na file appeal ne first. Maame ne ba ye ya no almost started the 3 weeks.
Men so me tie prosecutor no rep. Ewo. Metie no wasem. Where or se per document no. Maame ne file appeal no May 2024. I just don't have the exact date.
So, Akosia.
That is maybe that is over 2 years ago.
Yeah, there no kind of honor. And the file appeal no.
And I make and the document proves the documents and so for say as I make and share. Say I'm careful. Na asim dia ye the question politics ye be catch you be pray as
na ya catch lo Ghana dia ya catch
Akosia
Ghana ya catch la kasa wo judgment
me kodakra
many kumpanira one say
Akosia must start judgment we dey na me chairman jene kaka
na me na ha ye kai ye nchire ya adu ikeke we've gone through the court documents. Me time I would join me.
Me tia ma me I'm kind of crow ma me ne buy he prison ya de na kwachoye ma me ne buy he prison any ya de na kwachoye
na me pacho na me kasa okay any mama ya ye say na obi e na politics e was see etimi jai say suban
on the yes me nya
Obaa ya obeto prestige jina over 3 hours. We've gone through the documentation. I don't think me pacho court documents what can be when you be a kind.
Sister, me say menya bia kan yo menya bi I say mo defend the woman in the court no by
Akosia nyabotre
because mo defend na yet abai beko
Akosia
copy of the judgment nipo also me besides when you want kind you couldn't even answer me into my enjoy sad so me no say you will be as citizens ejina ono de mama no kujina court we no say only enough evidence but was stuck
it won enough evidence na court na sentence mama sister come on
Akosia
it won enough evidence and I say mama na court no e can no sentence
when it's in a court document and it's na make just a message onya botere na can court document
na me check sister mama need enough documents na court na sentence
yes we have evidence only enough evidence
na court na sentence
that is because say even court to crown or judge to crown we any pronounce to me mistake
mistake it's a by na nkwafo no
Akosia o ma men krana men kwada o ma men krana me krama kwada o men ka bi o I'm just saying thank you I was just saying thank you Nebekasa because as some way we be say expatiate party amewo expatiate bachelor baby amewo but the law is the law, the truth is the truth. Any politics Nebekasa
Mami e de asemo she party na mami no krampo no kama ye judge na ye ka say we guilty no MPP was in power. Bisa won say MPP no omo fele extradition form mpo so mo kofa maame ni fra America ba Ghana
Omo
They even
fele ma.
attempting.
Omo
Ọmọ
fele.
akọkọ.
Omo ye bibi ala. Sister, me say okay. Omo fele
Akwasi
ya
ati na
oba ya.
so
Undi ben na
wasi
na
o.
maame ne da. Oba na nse ya
Maame,
ne hefa na
wọ́n
no
ṣe
da.
di àwọn ntí ní ẹ̀ máa ṣe o maame.
Oh, mo defend this mo nyina ma na mo tim. Mo defend me dem me start
I
here.
found out
Mo
Yẹ́
today.
defend.
dìfẹ́ǹsì obi ẹ̀
Ah,
dìfẹ́ǹsì o, yẹ́
Oh,
di
mo
mọ́ra náà yẹ
defend.
ẹ̀dùnmá.
Humi ni
Asẹ́m bẹ́ẹ̀
nkomo.
nkura ẹ̀ ni.
Ɔsi yeye ti ma ɔno
Emotions
do ɔno wɔ start adwuma.
Humi ni nkomo. Na me de me that's
Yɛmpo akwasi abasa aba.
this is not the page I hear political propaganda. One means I'm
Emotions.
messing no. I was so bad.
Emotions ah.
I was so who said page way no. Yeah, political propaganda. Me and this young people do minimum biya.
Akusi also cry ɛyɛ wa yɛ gye o.
Over 3 hours to educate people. Now what me afro did you see the independent to MPP and DC? What's wrong with you? Then how? What me apa reduce me panel? I did what you now MPP and DC. I don't know what's our yes sir. This is not the page.
Ɛnyɛ telewa for life.
Yes, and man, I'm so for baby. Yes, I do. Miss them up baby. As ever, my pastor Kasabi.
Akusua deɛ na mepɛ sɛ meka ne sɛ na mepɛ sɛ mbusa prestige koraa but ɛm sɛ na mayɛ ɔba nti na mayɛ nsa ɔn sɛ mmara no mɛyusu agrada wei no case na yɛ mfa to ho at the time I convicted no I mean obiara already judgment ni biano will not have any doubt said Yamano that sentence or the codem. But after say or appeal court overturn a decision at a reduced sentence in about 1 year. That was when Obia already the court of appeal verdict no and I said the new verdict no. The earlier sentences was too harsh. So it makes me understand, and I believe, whether the person is guilty or not, largely depends on the direction you are viewing the whole thing. Prestige and especially it makes sense. With the new, the Court of Appeal, the new rulings, but it will also surprise you and I say, any one be brave, say, other courts or other judge will also view it in a different angle. Obesa the same case, so as are convicted. So sometimes, Obi thinking the other way, let us not be quick to condemn. It happens. So, cases be brave, it's so obvious, say, per proceedings in the American or deserving a sentence. But me say, another court.
The mamma never know. And Uncle making a submission based on the judgment, And I say, a could do a age, at a bomb, and I say, be evidence, find the and codi and argument. I promise you, send Mama Nakasa.
Yeah.
But for you to just be yes, shouldn't hanging on what downgrading to MPP and DC. To me, that's where I find it problematic. Into no let me be answer what wouldn't be a kind or simitie no wahamit me pamocho. Usi so who be a wako battle will lose. Obeja to say, me SMS, no, nipa no be even lawyer could simple in my mere cautious work it or no crown till date or that's okay interview. I was just say he did everything that he was supposed to. Into me, lawyer or no be lose case or betting in full swat. So does the AG. Me, I don't expect the AG to go and ask the rep to go on an interview and say, hey, am I so? Are they you? Oh, we really fucked up. They won't do that. They won't do that. They will continue to say, they did everything. But nneɛma bi ɔmo de bɛhyɛ edum ne adan. Nti at the end of the day no, sɛ yɛyɛ te ha na sɛ yɛka asɛm na yɛntumi ɛnka sɛ okay yɛka asɛm no kyerɛ nti ne akɔfa judgment aba. Judgment na I've had it for days now, but because of address afuma simninti ntimi nka asa na ɛno mum na that's what everybody was discussing tie dey atonche. Nti yɛntimi we can't keep doing that to ourselves. So what I say? Nti uba ye na wo free ye na nka wo si me ko to ha. Me go to a subsection hwan judgment no section page hwan and as mu yom kawe no manya daka I will entertain that conversation. Mr. Ramo, this is not the
emotions in too much.
Hold on, Dobro Ninja. This way I don't agree with Akosiati.
This is not for this page. You have to find a different page and do that.
But you see,
there are other pages omu accuse and come and not even listen to anything. Judgment I won't can here. You don't have a copy. The can you no uti you went there. Oh.
Akosiati, yeah, that's what advice say and that's why educating. But you see, based on the premise, no picture now we're painting, no. Sana inya no more, Dobro Ninja, or more the other half, no. No, they haven't read the judgment. Omoni argue blindly. Sapepepe, a run out drop and I'm expecting to Kaubenya but track a craman. I know say very annoying, but Pachopa, Mr. Nessa Nabotre, Obu Unabotre mana Obesia de Kakrana.
I suppose 2 hours. Yeah, that can
No. Do you know what time? Time Ben or joining here. Time Ben or joining here. Mimi Unim.
Want to say me bisan. What's here?
What's here? Obaa. Akosia, you mean here then for a very short time. But there's no way maybe make me argue with expatiate DL never dies. Unka now. Oh, you know any prestige. So any 2 minutes look kind of say a dream crying law no. Oh, mommy, 100 crying ye mean to me. So why would I argue with them? Questions. Na maybe some so munche me we ask me we ask. Intina akosi amesha wa enya botra mom because enya botra no dey any team league form be fro platform nyina nka be twa magu.
Obi o ho or yes sir obe distracted the watching until so soon no tie wo from ho. Osen ko mana na life ni obi o ha wo jana obe say program na wa ni na ntu sina na wo tie wo from ho so obe fall on fall
to some extent.
But if you allow people to come on and just be destructive, watching Nana, you can't see a missing in there, no answer. Whether it's up to her to decide.
I'm very distracted now. Because I know I didn't name my hero. Only procedure can't take you in it. Or go no about where you PDF. No, of course, because I know I can have.
Mama and the Muller saying, Kasawai. Watch
no, what did you mean? Only by being for the man or a sontino. Or the beverage said, no, my
Mulans Kasawai, especially on indicating and Kakana Yankoda.
I was and the bullet also born about to comment session president.
Wa comment you wa come on papa.
Mama say yen 80. Maybe 80 Ghana into bebre.
Oh, see mo na Ghana, mo na mo no be start adwuma.
Maybe I mean I'm Ghana o.
I see you Ghana, me watch.
Mama you say me nya ebrochen me ko bi because me hu say ebrochen for no. O ma ejimi me so me pese me ko jimi bi.
Me kwa me pese o me nyini a me so me nyesika me ko be bi o no by now I'm coming to start adwuma.
Expatriate, oh, scattered a man cancer. I know now to me talk Kakadru at the Koi, a course house, no. Also, no true one Kakadru. Expatriate. Oh, yeah. Maybe I say, I can't be back at Chagosio. Kabaka, yeah, was there never knows who do one. Also, about 9% of people let the no Kakrana, or you know, true Mukakra, say,
Aposa, you're correct.
Abuja.
Na me can say.
Asemo.
Hadi.
Debi. Now when you sure say, hey, Charlie, everyone argument tell you. What kind, you know? What they can say, oh, they be main kind, they didn't know. What I say? I said they be main kind, but share, say, no. Hey.
When people do this,
Oh Lord,
unim,
my tummy.
medical school na man nipa relax here, because a whole